Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a very interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel. Also, we have a survey that we'd like you guys to fill out. Only take you about 3 to 5 minutes. We have it pinned in the comments, and you have an opportunity to win some pretty cool Amazon gift cards. So please make sure you go ahead and do that. We really appreciate it. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So as you guys know, we covered the story of Dan Hurley, UConn's head coach, turning down the Lakers, right? And there have been some theories out there. Some people have been making various theories. One of them has been that some people believe that Dan Hurley and the Lakers were never talking. They feel like it was just this media invention. The question I have is, if Dan Hurley and the Lakers were never talking, then how could he have rejected them? How? Unless you're saying Dan Hurley just made up that story to possibly gain some leverage to get some more money from UConn, and then basically disgrace the Lakers publicly. I don't understand that, but there are people out there that believe that there's no truth to that story. Anyway, with Dan Hurley now turning down the Lakers job, it means that the Lakers, as we currently speak, are without a head coach, right? And the NBA Finals, we're about to go into Game 3. And usually teams by now at this point, especially if they're looking for a new head coach, they would have hired that person by now, right? But the Lakers find themselves in this precarious situation where they don't have a head coach. And as things currently stand, we don't know who the next head coach is going to be quite honest with you. So this morning I was doing some research, and I came across a clip from Richard Jefferson speaking on ESPN First Take, and they were discussing this very issue. But when it came time for Richard Jefferson to speak, he essentially revealed the real reason NBA coaches seem to be avoiding LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. So those are the comments that we really want to focus on today. But before we even get into what Richard Jefferson had to say on ESPN, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Game Time. Game Time makes getting NBA Finals tickets even faster and easier than ever before. For example, I am super excited about the games between the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. With Game Time tickets, I can easily pick the best tickets for me. I love that I can choose between different deals. I have the option to select the cheaper deal, the best option deal, or my favorite, the flash deal. The flash deal gives me the option to find discounts that I can only find on Game Time. Once I select the ticket I want, I can view my seat. And it's not just restricted to the NBA. I can also look for the best ticket deals for other sports like football, baseball, or concerts, or comedy or theater shows. Included in my purchase, I also have a 24-hour return guarantee, a lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to play exactly what Richard Jefferson had to say here, and I want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to him here.
How much of a commentary do you think this is on the Lakers job that Hurley decided to essentially say thanks, but no thanks, I'm going to stay at UConn?
Well, let me just say this. Woj basically said the decision was more about he had more to accomplish, so it was less about the Lakers and more about what he had to accomplish. But it doesn't change the fact that the Lakers still do not have a coach, and we are in the NBA Finals. They announced their priority search, or who was going to be their priority during Game 1 of the NBA Finals when the Boston Celtics are playing. Some might call that just coincidence. I'm Richard Petty, so I'm going to call it petty. But now you got egg all over your face because the Celtics are 2 wins away from winning a championship, and you just got turned down from an East Coast guy saying that I don't want to go do that. I have more in college that I have to accomplish. accomplish. And now we don't know who the Laker head coach is going to be just a couple of weeks before the NBA draft. So this is disappointing. The Lakers, when they see who they want, it is typically an honor for you to come here. You do not say no to us under any circumstances because we are the Lakers. But I think it also shows there's a level of issues inside of the Lakers that needs to be addressed.
But Richard, I think it's like, I'm giving you an offer you can't refuse, right? That was the Lakers of the past when situations coming off of Showtime, things were perfect. This is the Lakers of the present day where it has not been perfect. You look at the Western Conference, everyone has gotten better. They thought that going to the Western Conference Finals was good. Okay, we have some stability, but no, they forced a change. And now that change has backfired because this was not a perfect situation, even though you wanted a perfect coach.
Yeah, and even when you fire Darvin Ham, who went to the conference finals, and you fire Vogel, who went to the NBA finals, and then you lose out on your top-tier head coaching candidate, which I understand he would have been a great candidate, but you also forget that they turned down T. Lue and didn't offer him a great job, and now all of a sudden T. Lue's one of the highest-paid coaches when every player that played for him said that he was one of the great coaches that we had ever had, even with just a couple of years. So mistakes have been made, and now we are sitting here in the middle of June. The Lakers do not know who their head coach is going to be, and this search could continue past the draft, up into the draft.
So you heard what Richard Jefferson had to say. Basically, what Richard Jefferson is saying is that the reason head coaches are avoiding the Los Angeles Lakers are basically due to the fact that basically due to the Lakers' bad decision making, which I'm going to touch on in a second, and basically this constant drama that surrounds LeBron, that follows LeBron James wherever he goes. It's unreal. Drama has been following LeBron since Cleveland. Every destination he goes to, there's always some damn drama, and I think coaches that are outside looking at the situation are probably a bit leery. They're also looking at the fact, to get back to the Lakers' decision-making, or lack thereof, of how the Lakers have gone about the business of essentially firing head coaches every 2 to 3 seasons. They just fired a championship head coach in Frank Vogel. Then they said he couldn't get to the locker room and all of that. Then they go out there and they fire Darvin Ham. And then now they're on the hunt for another head coach. So a potential coach looking at that job may be saying to themselves, man, there's no job security here. If I'm going to go out there and take this job, it'll basically be a 2-year gig. If I'm lucky, 3 years. Like, who wants that on their resume? Who wants to start off their coaching career with this thought in the back of their head that inevitably they're going to get fired? Like, that's a very, very dangerous place to be. And then also you have people that are saying that, well, LeBron feels like he knows more than any other coach out there. So who's he going to listen to? Well, if that's what LeBron really feels in his heart, then he should coach the team then. If you feel you know it all, you coach the team. But if you're not going to coach the team, then get the hell out of the way and let the coach coach the team, right? I want to get to the Lakers' decision-making because we don't talk about that enough. We spend a lot of time talking about the Knicks, who have been totally inept over the last few, for the past 20 years, although they've been coming back over the last few years, and they've gotten on James Dolan ad nauseum. But we don't spend enough time talking about Jeannie Buss and the job she's doing as the governor of the Los Angeles Lakers. Jeannie Buss' tenure hasn't been a nice one. I mean, she took over the team roughly, 2011, 12, or sometime around that. And ever since then, I mean, Kobe tore his Achilles, so he wasn't really good. They didn't have a really good team around him. And then LeBron came, they didn't really do well. Then LeBron was able to get Anthony Davis, and they won a championship. But every year after that, it's just been one thing after the other. One thing after the other. And if you look at the amount of coaches under her watch, it's been a lot. You're now talking about her 5th head coach. 5th! In 10 years? To me, you're like, how is it 10 coaches? You had Byron Scott. You had Luke Walton. I don't think she was there for the Mike D'Antoni one. I think that was between her and her brother. You had Luke Walton, Byron Scott. You have Frank Vogel. You have Darvin Ham. And now you're going to have another coach. You look at all of the decisions that have been made. How is the governor not being brought to the carpet to answer for some of these things? If it's another organization, they'll be questioning the management. But the Lakers have been making a lot of these mistakes. And there's always this question about who's really running the organization. That's a question. Some people even said that, I think, was it Skip Bayless that said it yesterday, that Dan Hurley, I forgot who said it, that he went to the Lakers and he got a sense that, that he doesn't really know who's running the ship here. But that's a problem. a very big one. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about today's analysis? What do you think about what Richard Jefferson had to say? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.